I'm pouring whiskey, okay? Relax.
Okay, today, Jack Daniel's Bonded.
Yes.
Whiskey Advocate's best whiskey of last year. Does that blow you away a little bit?
So that's a bold statement.
That's interesting, isn't it?
That's a bold move, Cotton.
It's a bold move, Whiskey Advocate.
Yeah.
So we're going to test that out. We're going to see if it's any good or not.
Yeah. So this was released as part of Jack Daniel's, like a new 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bonded and a sour mash whiskey. And so I have not been a huge fan of like Jack, number 7, Gentleman Jack, any other kind of like sitting on the store shelves Jack. But if you look over here, you'll see that I have the last 2 years of their special release. So the rye, the barrel strength rye, and the Coy Hill, which are both like, those are bombs. Like those are fantastic bottles.
I had the twice barreled malt at Whiskey Cake.
Yes.
Actually just got that out of the ABC Vault, so may have another video coming up soon. May not. So subscribe either way.
We'll see.
But I thought that was pretty good for a malt. I don't like malts. I don't think they're very good. For a malt, the double barrel helped a ton. It was probably the best malt I've ever had, which I don't like malts.
So in general, I do like a lot of Jack Daniel's higher end stuff.
Their single barrels are not terribly either. Like they're single barrel proofs.
You know what? I
would
completely agree.
And you can usually find those around. But yeah, just
$60,
they're bottom of the shelf stuff.
It's like very average.
It's very average.
It's not that great.
It's
I wouldn't
proof.
even.
It's very meh.
Yeah.
It's not bad by any means. It's just boring.
So I'm hoping that this sits in the 1-up realm of that.
Which
a little bit. In theory, it should.
100 proof as opposed to 80.
100 proof. Age minimum 4 years in a government bonded warehouse. So, gotta love the government.
It does smell good. It's got a nice nose, hefty.
It's very much like
down home plate.
Yeah, like a Jack Daniel's, kind of like typical. A little banana,
a little more heft to it.
The nose is good to me. The nose is great. It's not as fruity as like a Buffalo Trace. It's not like a lemon black tea, like a Wild Turkey.
Did you get some of that banana, like you said?
Yeah, you do.
I know you're a big fan of banana.
I am, just in general. Yeah, nose is above average. Like
it's a good nose.
Plus nose.
And this is my first drink. I don't know if you've had anything else today.
No, I haven't.
I get a little peanut on the front of that. You get that too?
I can see where you would be picking that up. I kind of get it more on the back end.
Yeah. First sip, I just get hit with peanuts.
That's
like a Jim Beam thing, right?
Yeah, that's supposed to be.
No.
Yeah, but this is not. So I don't know about this being number one whiskey.
Now, what? It's a good value, right? $35 for
that's a better discussion. That's a better discussion. So this is $41 at Costco. It's a liter though, so it's not a 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be in and around the $30 range.
Yeah, $35 is what I've seen it for on the shelf. Which you are getting 100 proof at that. You're getting something a little better than just their number 7. I get some of the aspects of the appeal of that.
I'm also not really seeing this around in a lot of liquor stores.
Yeah.
Like I'll see it like occasionally at ABC, occasionally not.
Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't.
Right.
I always got the sticker for it, but sometimes it's gone. It is moving pretty well. Maybe that's how they
people do like it. People do like it. That's right. And so it came to Costco, and I was like, might as well try it out. I mean, it's ranked number 1 apparently. The problem is, where does this fit in with my lineup? Or like, how do I want to utilize this bottle? Is this a sipper bottle? I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it's a sipper.
No. But I don't, to be fair, to maybe play a little devil's advocate, you don't have very many $30 sipper bottles. There are some that you would drink.
There aren't many $30 sipper bottles, period.
So that's where I think this doesn't fit in as a sipper, because there aren't many $30 sippers.
Right. And so then you're looking at, okay, I can make old fashions out of it.
Which is not a terrible idea with 100 proof.
Exactly.
And the cost. I think it's great for that.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are probably doing that.
Well, speaking of cost, I love opportunity cost. And so if I buy this at $35, then I'm passing up an Old Forester 100 at $26. And I think that's equally as good for making cocktails out of.
Probably better. I like that flavor a little better than this.
So
I don't think it's bad. What do you think more about the flavor? Talk more about that. So I'm getting a little peanut. I do get the caramel. I do get the wood. This is a little, it's not super old. What do you say? At least 4?
Yeah, minimum 4.
So
I do get a little bit of caramel, a little bit of like barrel spice. There's definitely like a spiciness to it.
Yeah. That's probably how I'm getting the peanut off.
Right. And so I think that's probably just being 100 proof and being not like 6 years old. So it's
Mhm.
probably like, right at that 4-year mark. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's not like
It's average to me,
right.
flavor wise.
And I do like a lot of the Jack higher end stuff. This is just not quite hitting the level of like I really want to buy this.
Right.
Like the Jack single barrel strength, I think is for an extra like $20.
Far and away a better bottle.
I would probably go after that. But again, that's like 130 proof versus 100 proof. It's not quite the same.
Yep. And less bourbon.
That's true.
A quarter less.
That's true.
What
That's
you
true.
get it for.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I think it's an okay whiskey. I think that if you, spoiler, put this up against some other 100 proof products,
ooh,
I think that if you put this up against Old Forester, I've got Old Forester, both the bourbon and rye winning.
100. I probably do.
And then
in my head.
And then I think if you put this up against some other bonded products, I mean, I think E.H. Taylor is going to blow this out of the water.
That's not even the same, though.
I mean, but it is. Same price, 45, 35. They're not much different.
Yeah, well,
just a small batch.
You go to Stag Junior for another 15.
Yeah, that's not 100 proof, though.
Right.
I think we're just looking at 100 proof things.
I think if you throw this up against, I think both Old Foresters. I think you do Wild Turkey 101.
Okay.
How about this one? Here's a wild card. How about a Maker's 101? Right? It's weeded, a little different, but we're still in that same proof range. That would be an interesting blind.
I think I'm gonna like that. I'm gonna think this is gonna come in last.
In last,
probably. This might. Probably. I'm not as big of a Wild Turkey 101.
Bourbon. Yeah.
I like the Old Forester bourbon more than I like the Wild Turkey 101. So I think this might beat the Wild Turkey 101 for me. Okay. Maybe. But I think it loses to everything else you just mentioned.
Yeah, I think so as well. We'll see.
Especially considering cost on all those. This is a little bit more than all those are. So I don't know. Not sure I agree with that. I think Whiskey Advocate, again, their reasons may have been affordability. People are using it for old fashions.
Yeah.
People have been buying it, so maybe we're just wrong. But I think Whiskey Advocate, swing and a miss. I'm going to go on this one. I'm going to say, go ahead. Sorry.
So I think the final point, I would say that there's not a lot of distilleries that are introducing new products at the $35 to $40 range.
Good point.
Everything that's been coming out has been like $120.
Yep.
Like all these
and with a name like Jack.
Right. And so I feel like for a distillery to come out and say, hey, we're going to put out a $40 bottle that's bottled and bond, I don't hate that approach.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how about this? Take about Henry McKenna. That's like $60 now, 65.
Yeah.
Well, that is bottom line. Yeah.
Yeah. 100 proof. Yeah. So yeah, I think. Okay, here's a good one. Let's finish with this.
Yeah.
So I think Whiskey Advocate's wrong here. This is not the whiskey of the year. But is it a buy or a pass? You buy it if you have another opportunity. Are you ever buying this bottle again?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm probably a no.
I don't think so. I like.
It's not bad. I would drink it if somebody else offered it to me.
Yeah.
If I saw it out and you go to a sports bar and they don't have very many good whiskey, I would get that over most regular 80 proof whiskeys for sure. Right. But I'm not buying a bottle of that. Most likely.
I'm taking this over at a bar, right? I'm taking this over like a Woodford because they're going to price Woodford more than this. I would take this over Woodford probably, and that's going to be like your higher end, like quote higher end stuff at a bar.
Taking that over a straight Makers, I think.
Yes.
Because those are like 90 proof. This is a little higher. I think I'll take the proof out of the bar.
Again, I don't know where this fits into my rotation at, and so I like this in principle, but not in execution.
In your glass.
Yeah.
I like it in principle, but not in my glass.
So anyway, all right, that's kind of where I'm at.
Hit us up. Hit the subscribe button. Have you tried Jack? Hit the comments down below. Want to know your thoughts on the Jack Daniel's Bonded. Do you agree with Whiskey Advocate? Do you think we're idiots? That's okay. Most people probably do. We will be back with more content, more reviews, more bourbon, more rye for you. Thanks for hanging out. Cheers.
Cheers.